recording. All right, sharing my screen. And if for some reason you cannot hear the video, please just like shoot me a chat or like wave your hands or something so that way I can make sure you guys can hear it, because that would be so embarrassing.
On live, if you can hear me, if you can see me, drop an emoji. It's time to get this party started. I'm super excited to talk to you guys today. I'll see who jumps on live.
Can you guys hear that? Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay, I'm seeing people start popping on. Hi guys, drop an emoji below if you're ready to party. Yay. Okay, cool. So I'm excited to chat with you guys today, just real quickly to give you a couple of tangible tips that you can implement into your business right here, right now, to do the dang thing, okay? So for those of you that I don't know, my name is Keisha Fitzgerald. I've been coaching for a little over 5 years, and today, ironically, April 10th, marks 4 years since I left the corporate world. So as many of you in this group are doing, I built this business first to on the side, right, of a full-time job that I actually really loved. So I think my story is a little bit different in that I am not a mom. I didn't have a situation where I had to make this work, but I was really, really passionate about building this on the side of a job that I did love. And then it got to a situation for me where it was kind of like an opportunity cost for me to really go for Beachbody. And since then, I have built a 7-figure business. I joined the Million Club. So I'm super excited to share with you guys early on what I did, because I think a lot of you guys are juggling all the things, right? Some of you are working a full-time job and you're keeping humans alive and you're doing all the things. So I want to share a couple of tips that I think have helped me in my business that you could do right now, like today. So I jotted things down because I'm really squirrely and I could like get all over the place, and I want to be concise and respect your time. So number 1, self-awareness. Okay, so I know that you hear this all the time, but yes, success leaves clues. You're going to hear from so many people that are super successful in this business, but if you really like pop the hood and peel it back a little bit, you'll also understand that everyone is so different, but they're so good at being themselves, right? I'm very different from my upline coach who I respect and admire so deeply, but I'm really good at being me, which is why I feel like I've been able to connect in a really authentic way to the people that I'm most excited to help and serve in this business, to my coaches, to my challengers, to the random girl that I'm connected to on Instagram, right? So when you think about self-awareness, I want to ask you, are you doing personal development that you actually need, or are you doing personal development that everyone and their cousin is doing, right? Because it's the trendy book in the network, because it's what everyone's talking about. But if you know that you struggle with fear or you struggle with perfectionism, make sure that you're leaning into your team or using Google, typing into Audible what you're struggling with to make sure that you are getting the right personal development for you. Because as you get more self-aware, you're also able to use your language in your public posts as well as in private messages, because you know yourself, right? So that, before I can give you any tangible tips, I think that is the number 1 thing that has helped me reach the level of success in a fulfilling way in the process towards getting there, right? Because it's really about the person that you're becoming in pursuit of the goal than it actually is of hitting the goal. Of course, we all want to hit diamond or star diamond or 5-star or 10-star or 15-star, million-star, whatever stars you want to hit. That's awesome. And your goal is important because as humans, like Tony Robbins says, we love progress. So we need to have something that we're working towards. But don't forget that the things that you actually do as your job, like becoming self-aware of what you need to be the best human you can be, is going to serve your business, and it's going to build connective tissue with the people you're most excited to help. So that's tip number 1, okay? Yes, success like leaves clues, but doing you is going to feel better, and that's going to keep you consistent, okay? Number 2, get skin in the game as early as possible. So what's interesting about this business, it's not like your typical franchise, brick and mortar business, right? If we were opening up a sub shop or a taco shop, you would have to buy the physical shop, buy all the ingredients, pay for our marketing, do all of these things, right? Kim and Jamie will, I'm sure, talk about this on Friday. I love their story, the Fitzpatricks. But you have to think about this where you have to get yourself skin in the game so that you'll show up, because technically it's actually less expensive for you to be a discount coach than it is for you to be a customer, because of your 25% discount. So you actually have less skin in the game, in my opinion, when you sign up as a coach than you do even as a customer, because it's cheaper to get your Shakeology and get access to your workouts, right? So how do you get skin in the game? Well, what I tell all my coaches, and what maybe will work for you since you're pushing for Diamond, to loop your coaches in on advancing their business to Emerald, is when you advance your business to Emerald, you're having two conversations, right? We talk about team cycles, and Lindsay's gonna break down all the comp structure, and Melanie's gonna talk about building out the game plan. You're gonna get so many resources in this group, as you already have. But one thing to remember about advancing your business to Emerald is you had two conversations. For me, when I advanced my business to Emerald, it was within the first 24 hours that I decided to build it. I had a conversation with my boyfriend of 10 years, Sina, and my best friend, Jackie. And I told them that this business was going to be important to me. I didn't think that it was going to be a full-time job back then. I didn't see myself turning this into a 7-figure business. Definitely not. I actually didn't really understand what Beachbody was, but I was really excited about it. And those two conversations gave me skin in the game, right? Because I told my boyfriend that this mattered to me. I told my best friend that this mattered to me so that I could show up. And then when I made this plan that I'm going to tell you guys a couple tips on, when I made this plan and I stuck to it while I still worked my full-time job, two people that were super important to me understood that this mattered to me. And not only did I not want to let myself down, but I didn't want to let them down. And so often I hear from coaches that they feel like maybe they're not getting the support that they want in this business. And that will happen. Some people will not get it. You might not get it, right? You'll doubt yourself. We all have those feelings. But if you can have a conversation with your mom or your sister or your cousin or your best friend or your significant other, someone that gets into your business straight out the gates, that you can express why it's important, maybe they won't get it, but that conversation makes you want to show up even more, right? So that's super important. In addition, I know that when you're pushing for Diamond, at least how I felt when I was pushing for Diamond straight out the gates, is I didn't see myself in the role of Diamond or 1-star or 5-star or 10-star or 15-star or any of those stars, right? I didn't see myself doing that. But remember that what you're doing on this daily basis of posting on social media and doing your workouts and drinking your shake and inviting people to join you, that's putting confidence deposits in your bucket. And this business does get easier when you build up that confidence. So in pursuit of Diamond, it's not just about hitting Diamond, but it's about the confidence that you're building along the way and that credibility that comes to your external audience, but more importantly, to yourself. So get yourself skin in the game. You are an entrepreneur, you are a CEO, you've got to take that ownership mentality. That is something that I did when this was a side hustle. For whatever reason, I decided I'm a CEO. I have no idea where this business is going, but I'm pumped about it and I'm going to treat it like a business. Guess what happened? People started to buy into the fact that I really did treat this like a business, and my confidence started to grow, right? So get yourself skin in the game, because those confidence deposits will help you paint the picture of where this could take you. But don't rob yourself of the opportunity of thinking that you have to know right now exactly where this is going, because it'll probably blow your mind how much better it could be than you even thought, right? If you stay in it. Number 3, this is one of the most powerful tips that I can give you, especially if you're working this as a side hustle. Become a machine at collecting other people's stories. So we know that as coaches, we're not solo entrepreneurs. You're doing this on a team. Before you want to give me the saga of my upline, blah, blah, blah. No, you have an incredible team. You're in this community. Like, you're in this group. You're getting resources out the wazoo. It's never going to be a lack of resources. It's going to be a lack of resourcefulness that won't get you where you want to go. So we're just going to squash that right now, because I've told myself that story and it doesn't work, okay? So collect other people's stories. In this group, every single person that goes live, the people that you meet in this group, the people that you hear on the National Wake Up Calls or you hear at Summit or Super Saturday, those people's stories, those are tools in your toolbox so that when you're talking to someone in a private message who is a mom of 3, right? I have no humans, I have a dog. But I can sign up moms, even though I don't understand what their life is like as a mom, because I've collected all of these stories of, hey girl, I know I don't totally understand what it's like to be a mom, and I can imagine that it's probably crazy, and kids are like throwing stuff at you all the time, right? But I will tell you this story of my coach, like so-and-so, right? Or I will tell you the story of this person that's also a coach who has been really successful and made this work even with 3 kids, right? So collect other people's stories, right? Every single time that you're listening to a training, put that story in your toolbox. hi, I'm Keisha. I worked my dream job at Google. I didn't have my back against the wall. I didn't have to make this work. And I built a 6-figure business on the side of working a full-time corporate job I love. Boom, now you've got my story, right? Use that when you're talking to someone in a private message. Use that to yourself when you don't want to invite that person who you think has it all together and wouldn't be interested in Beachbody, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? I had all the things on paper, but behind closed doors, I was not as fulfilled as I thought that I could be. And I'm so grateful that I was asked to be a coach so I could change my entire world and the trajectory of my future and all those unborn kids that I'll have, right? So don't discount people. Knowing more people's stories helps you build confidence. So collect those stories. I'm not saying don't take action. I'm not saying sit in analysis and think that they're stories because that will serve you, okay? And when you're sharing about your challengers, when you're sharing about your coaches, when you're shouting out new emeralds, one thing that I do on my Instagram stories as well as on my Facebook page and in my team pages is I say what their reason that they joined is, right? Because that's building connective tissue with my audience. And it takes less time for you to come up with this inspirational post rather than just knowing their story. And then when you talk about that particular coach, you can share that story on your Instagram. And it can help create belief that you can mentor coaches, that people who have a different story than you can join your groups, right? So step 1, self-awareness. Step 2 was get skin in the game, right? Accountability, whatever you need to show up for your business. Step 3, collect people's stories. I'm going fast because I want to be respectful of your time. Step 4, there's 5 total. Step 4, make a game plan. Melanie is the boss of game plans, but I will tell you my version of a game plan, okay? When I worked full-time at Google, I did not work on my business when I was at work. So Sunday nights, I would sit down and I would map out my week's content, right? So I would pick, this is old school. Lindsay's YouTube videos are what taught me this back in the day, of picking 5 different areas in your life that are important to you, right? Not just Beachbody coaching, not just flexing, being like, crush my workout, because like that's really boring for you and for your audience, and it doesn't build connective tissue. So 5 different areas, and on Sunday nights, I would sit down and I would map out what am I going to post about. I would map out when am I going to work my business, and I was focused on what are the results that I'm going to get. Not I'm going to jump on my computer and see what I need to do. I'm going to get on my computer and be like, I have to send out 5 invites. I need to do 15 follow-ups. I need to do insert whatever you need to do to build your business that you can measure, right? Because sometimes I ask coaches what they're doing to build their business, and they're like, I'm checking into my challenge groups and I'm clearing my inbox. I'm like, how do you know if you like won the day, right? You want to give yourself that confidence deposit. So Sunday nights, what I would do is I'd map out what am I going to post about each day, and I'd block off chunks of time that I was going to work my business. And I'd see what social commitments I had. I'd see when we were going to do date night. I would block it all out and proactively make a game plan, because not only did that help me build confidence, it helped me get credibility with the people in my life that were watching me do this, because they saw that I was taking this seriously. They saw that this mattered to me. And then making the plan is actually the easiest part, right? You can sit down on Sunday, you can get out your highlighters. I'm not really like creative like that, but like you can do that. Sticking to the plan is where the magic happens, right? Where it's like, I said that I was going to do this, so before I put my head on my pillow, yes, it won't go perfectly, but I'm going to show up and I'm going to do this because I said that I was going to do this, okay? So make that plan and really focusing on what you actually want to get from working rather than just working your business and catching yourself like scrolling social media. That's not a good use of time. And girl or guy, you don't have time to scroll when you're working this as a side hustle with full-time income goals. Or even if your goal isn't for this to be a full-time job, don't rob yourself of the opportunity to set goals in the first place so you can build confidence so this gets easier and more fun and more fulfilling and you change a crap ton of people's lives, okay? So that's my tip number 4. Make a plan and actually stick to it. I've done videos on the Beachbody Champions page breaking down how I do this. And like I said, this is supposed to be a shorter video, so I'm trying to condense it, but you can check that out. Step number 5, don't give up. Do not give up. Sometimes I hear people say, I wonder how long this is gonna take me. And I did build this business quickly on the side of a full-time corporate job because I hustled my freaking face off. And I made a plan, and then I actually did what was on my plan. There's no secret sauce. I am definitely not a unicorn. Neither is anyone in this group. It's just consistent action and doing it your way and showing up authentically. and loving the process rather than just what the process could produce, right? But that being said, you have to not go into this with the lens of this is my expiration date, right? What is the alternative? Like, if it would have taken me 5 years to build this into a full-time job, I would have still done it because I was getting in better shape. I was making an impact. I was filling that void, that gut feeling that I had in my stomach that was like, there's more for me here and I don't know what the heck I'm doing with my life. What was my alternative? Go back to the job and be like, well, at least I gave it a go. Why not commit to really going all in? You know what your all in is, right? And it doesn't have to be all in so you can retire your husband. I haven't retired my husband. He doesn't want to be retired. I don't have a husband. That's another part of it. But point is, you need to make sure that you're honoring your priorities in the process, but also don't put an expiration date on this. You can make this whatever you want, and it won't look like your upline. Your level of success and how you get there is not going to look like anyone else. Success does leave clues to show you that it's possible. Are you kidding me? I'm so freaking grateful for Lindsay for paving the way. To Scotty, to Brigida, that's my upline genealogy, right? I'm so grateful because they showed me what was possible, but I knew I couldn't do it the same way as Lindsay because I'm not like Lindsay or Scotty or Brigida. I could do it my way. So I encourage you, take all the tools in this group because it's a powerhouse speaker lineup and resources, and Melanie and Lindsay do not cut corners on anything. So this is going to be an amazing group, and I'm so excited for you being in here, but also I'm excited for you that you decided to be here. So give it your all, take these resources and do something with it, okay? Because you can do whatever you freaking want in this business. Don't be the thing that's standing in your way. I understand that's not tangible, but I can tell you, just don't give up, ever. Do not give up because it's not just about you. Because when you help one person, you help every single person around them, and that ripple changes families, right? We're not selling pens here. No offense if you sell pens, like everyone needs a pen, but we're not selling pens, we're changing lives. So, it matters, show up, get self-aware, personal development that matters to you, step 1. Step 2, get skin in the game. What does that mean for you? Maybe it's a conversation that you haven't yet had yet. Maybe it's investing in a tool that you need to invest in. Maybe it's getting accountability and posting on your team page and saying, hey, I say that I'm working my business, but I'm not actually working my business. Does anyone actually want to do it with me? Right? Step 3, collect stories. My story, the stories of people in here, stories on the National Wake Up Call, stories that you hear at Summit, Super Saturday, people on your team. Whew, talking fast, I'm starting to sweat. Step number 4, make a game plan. And more so than just making the game plan, follow your game plan, girl or guy, because that's what the point of making the game plan is stick to it. Be the person that's doing the things that you said that you were gonna do when you signed up for this group. Keep going. Don't stop. And number 5, don't give up, ever. Because something in you said that you wanted to sign up as a coach. And I don't think that was by accident. I think that's because you have a purpose here and an impact that you need to make. I went a little over time, but 18 minutes, over and out. Love you guys.
Okay, so that was like one of the best calls I think I've ever seen from any coach in this business, because she literally just broke it down. She told you like straight up, she had a full-time job working at Google, a job that she loved, but she also loved coaching, and she wanted to make this work as a side hustle. And maybe it's not your goal to make this a 6-figure income. You know, maybe you just want to provide enough money to pay for your mortgage or to pay for groceries or whatever it is, but you have to do those same steps that will get you to making that additional, $500, $1,000, $5,000, the same way you would do it if you were making this a 6-figure income side hustle. So with all that being said, she gave 5 incredible tips, which one of my favorite ones was like her very first one, when she just said like having that self-awareness, you have to be you. The way that I share stuff, the way that Amber shares stuff, the way that other coaches on this team talk and share about stuff may not work for you. You have to do it your own way. You have to show up every single day and be consistent with you in the way that you operate and the way that you share, and just be unapologetically yourself through all of this. And, I know I tend to get wrapped up in seeing what everyone else is reading, girl, wash your face, girl, stop apologizing. I feel like I should read that because everyone else and their mother is. But that's not what I struggle with. I struggle with leadership. I struggle with just believing that I can get into that role as a leader. So that's what I listen to. Those are the podcasts that I'm listening to constantly while I'm doing work, because that's what I need. And that's what helps me truly just feel better and to have that self-awareness. And I mean, I've read Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing. They're great, but that's like a fun read for me. You know, I already have that self-confidence that she talks about. It's helpful, but the stuff where I'm digging deeper, that's the stuff I really, really need. You know, that was one of my favorite things. And I think too, you know, kind of just talking about becoming a machine and making a game plan, you know, and you may hear that and you're like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing now. Help me figure out how to do it while I'm working a 9-to-5 job, or while I have, you know, 3 kids running around all day long. How do I make this work? So that's where I wanted to share just a couple of like quick points from another call that was in that amazing group with these top coaches. She just said, you know, you cannot let this business own you. It can become so overwhelming to do so many things and to juggle it all at once. And if you're working in the pockets of your day, you know, that's where you're going to start getting burned out. If you're trying to answer messages and have conversations and invite people while you're going on a bathroom break or a lunch break, you're going to get exhausted and you're going to get burned out. You have got to set business hours for yourself. And even if you're not working a full-time job, I'm learning now that I need those business hours, whether that is during nap time or if that's at the end of my day. You know, I want this for myself and for my family, and I see this as a business because it is. So I'm going to set time aside every single day, whether that's an hour in the morning and an hour at night, or if it's 2 hours straight, or whatever that looks like. It's different for all of us, but you have to set that time for yourself. You know, stop responding to messages all throughout the day. Stop trying to think about what you're posting, you know, later that evening, or how you're going to share something on your stories or whatever. You have to put it into a business hour. You know, I'm sure we can all say, oh, we need more time to work this business, but you don't need more time. You just have to be more intentional and more effective with the time that you're putting forth to this business, because it's really, really where you're going to see growth with this. Something that's awesome to do is sitting down every Sunday and blocking out your schedule. If you know that your work hours are 9 to 5 every day, or really 8 to 6 if you have to drive somewhere, you know what those hours are, block it off. That's not for Beachbody work. Maybe your business hours are going to be once your kids are down for bed, you're going to give it an hour and a half, 8 to 9:30. You know, maybe you do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have Thursday date night or Friday date night or whatever it is. Schedule that stuff in. You have to schedule time, you know, for yourself throughout the week. That way you're not falling through the cracks and you're not feeling overwhelmed and you're not losing out on conversations and building those connections with other people. And this is really going to help you have quality conversations with the people that you're reaching out to and inviting, and it'll help you really be yourself more when you can give that person all of you and you're not feeling like you're being so stretched thin. Something else that that I wanted to share from her call was, you have to talk about inviting to challenge groups just as much, if not more, than you're talking about the coaching opportunity. And maybe I said that backwards. You should be talking about the coaching opportunity just as much, if not more, than you're talking about joining a challenge group, because that's where the growth is coming from. You know that you already love these workouts. You love this community. You love these products. We cannot be nervous or insecure or scared to share about coaching. You know, like that's how you're going to grow a team. And why rob somebody of that opportunity just because you're nervous to ask them if they want to sign up to be a coach? Like, you know how this has changed your life. Maybe somebody else wants to do that for other people. You know, maybe they know 5 other people that they can help through this, you know, and that's where the connection is. You're going to be that person that helps lead other people. It's a ripple effect. Like it's the coolest thing that we have been given from this opportunity. A couple other things, having a system, like we've said, you know, sitting down, figuring out what your marketing schedule is going to look like. It's going to help you so much, because I can speak for myself. I know some nights I am like scrambling around because I feel like I have to catch up on Instagram, or I have to catch up on social media and share something, or I'm going to miss the right time to post it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. But if I really sit down and I plan out, okay, Monday I want to talk about staying consistent. Tuesday I'm going to share transformations. Wednesday I'm going to do such and such, like whatever it is. I know what I want to say. It's not, you're not being, disingenuine or whatever the word is by doing that. You're sharing your heart. You're just not scrambling around trying to put words together, 30 minutes before you need to do your post or whatever. So that was the last thing, other than just doing personal development, that's for you, and just setting goals for yourself. Keisha talked about, all right, you're going to set up your game plan on a Sunday. You're going to set your intention for the week and what you want to say. But, what good is it if you're telling yourself, all right, I'm going to send 10 invites, 5 follow-ups. I'm going to stop scrolling X, Y, and Z. What good is it if you're not having an end goal for that week? What is it going to look like for you? Every week, do you want to hit SC2? Do you want to help one person a week? Do you want to help 2 people per week? I feel like when you have that goal set for yourself at the end of the week, it's going to make what you're doing and inviting and reaching out and doing these daily tasks, it's going to make it that much more important to you. You're going to make it that much more of a priority because you have an end goal in mind to help at least 1, 2, 3 people, whatever that looks like for you. So when you have that weekly goal in mind, every time you're having those connections and you're having those conversations, you're reminded in the back of your head why you're doing this. You have to have that strong why every single day that you wake up to do this. That's why you started this. And you have to just continuously remind yourself of that because it can get overwhelming and it can get hard. It is hard. I still struggle. I'm having a really hard month this month and I'm still showing up every single day the same way I would if I was having one of my most successful months. You have to be consistent. This is not a business where you're going to do it for a week and you're just going to be like, oh my gosh, dollar bills. That's not what this is all about. It's not overnight success. It takes time and your consistency is going to pay off. Even if you help one person, So I wanted to share that with you guys. I know Amber wanted to share that with you guys too. But I hope that was helpful for you all. You can unmute yourselves if you want to and say if you guys liked it or not. I figured that was a cool way. We've been talking about just wanting to do some things for our coaches that we really feel like will benefit you guys and will be an effective way to transfer information, I guess, that we're getting to us. Like, there's no shot I could have done a call better than Keisha just did. She was like freaking amazing. So we wanted to share that with you guys. So hopefully that was helpful. Now, if anybody wants to say anything, I would love for you to share.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you. Now I can't. Hold on.
Oh. Can
Okay.
you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm on my phone, so I have no idea how to do this. I just wanted to say that, speaking after watching this video and like talking to Haley, like I have been just really struggling lately with, business hours and finding what works for me. And so I'm really trying to implement this because it's important. It's like she said, like it's important to schedule every little thing in your day. And if that's working or, being with my girls or being intentional with Alex. And Haley pointed out that I feel like because I'm a stay-at-home mom, that I feel like I have to do like that nap time hustle because that's what everybody does. But that doesn't work for me. Like in my season of life right now with my psycho kids that don't sleep, so then I tend to get stressed out and then I don't know what to do. And then I'm like being pulled every which way. So I feel like when it comes to business hours, like do what works for you. Try different points, throughout the day and see what works. And if it doesn't work for you, like it doesn't work for you. You don't have to, follow what everybody else is doing. So like I'm going to try this entire week. My business hours are going to be when the girls go to bed. And I'm going to hopefully see, like Haley said, this is a really tough month for me too. Like I'm at Success Club 0. And I'm showing up every day and I'm doing the things. And I feel stressed out. So I'm really going to take to these business hours and see if that works. So I just wanted to share like my thoughts and like where I'm at with that.
I love it. And it's so true. Like everyone's business is so different. And that's what's cool about this, is that it's not a one size fits all type of business. You know, what works for me isn't going to work for Hannah, isn't going to work for Jen. Like, we're all so different, and you have to find what works for you, you know, and it may take time, you know, it's all trial and error, but you'll find what works best for you. And once you get in that groove, stick with it and tell yourself, I'm going to do it, like Amber said, a week like this. I'm going to do it a week this way of having hours set at this time, you know, whatever time that is for you. Reassess at the end of the week. If it doesn't work for you, change it up. If you felt stressed out on Tuesdays and Thursdays and you need to change your hours, you can change them, because guess what? You're your own boss. You know, no one's telling you you have to have certain hours at a certain time, you know, and you just have to find what works for you. And it can be overwhelming, but I guarantee you that if you are being intentional with that hour, 2 hours, hour and a half, whatever chunk of time in the day that you have, you're going through that Success Club activity tracker, you're sending your follow-ups, like you're sending your invites, whatever it is, the things that you need to be doing and showing up and being consistent, good things are going to happen. Big things are going to happen. You're going to start seeing the success just follow you through your consistency. It's going to happen. And it's going to be hard sometimes, but you have to just keep pushing through, and you have to stay consistent, because that's what consistency is. It's showing up whether it's super hard or super easy. You're doing the same things day in and day out. Was that helpful? Did you guys like listening to that? Okay, good. I felt like it really would be nice to just hear it, whether you are, I think it really does resonate with everybody, whether you are full-time stay-at-home mom, whether you're working part-time, working full-time, going to school, doing all those things at one time. You know, you have to remember why you started this and why you love it. You know, there is a reason why you signed up as a coach. It wasn't on accident. You knew what you were doing when you signed up as a coach. You know, there's a purpose behind it. We've all helped at least one person get started with this and have some sort of transformation, you know, and that's worth it. You should want to keep doing that, because we see so much potential in every single one of you. It's time for you guys to start seeing that. You have to have that self-belief and wake up every single day and be like, listen, I can do this. I'm going to do it. And then you go do it. You do the thing. And it's awesome. It really is. So thank you guys so much for being on this call. I know Amber and I were super excited to share that with you guys. So I wasn't even recording that last
You didn't? Oh, you didn't record it?
No, I mean, I did. I did record it, just
Oh.
not like the last like 10 minutes.
It's okay. If they're not here, they're not here. They missed out. I was going to say something else real quick. I can't see the chat. I don't know how to work this on the phone, so I don't know if anybody's like saying anything.
Your face is so close to the screen.
I wanted to shout out Stephanie real quick, because one of the tips was to like use other people's stories and do that, you guys. Like, even just like coming from myself, like don't ever ask if like, oh, can I use like your transformation, or can I like talk about it? Like, do it. Like, if like Stephanie's so good at like shouting out coaches like on our team, like do it. Like, share their stories. Who cares if they're not like your challenger or your coach? Like, use that to your benefit and show them like, hey, we're all different. Like she said, like, I may not be this type of person, but I definitely have women on my team who are. Like, what? Like, use that to your advantage. I can't say that enough, and Stephanie's really good at that. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Yes, she is. And it's nice, like whenever, you know, you want to recognize a coach, it doesn't have to be a coach directly under you. You can shout out coaches on this team, maybe for being vulnerable or sharing their transformation, and share like full-time teacher, you know, full-time mom of 3, like, and share their story, you know, send them a message and be like, hey girl, I really wanted to highlight you in my stories this week. Like, why did you start coaching? You know,
So, sorry, Haley.
you're fine.
Go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say, you know, why are you doing this? Like, why did you want to start? Say what you were going to say. We have like less than a minute.
So Haley and I were talking that we want to host another call like someday soon. And we would love to have a lot of participation and basically just get on this call and get to know each other and share why we started coaching and why we love doing this, because we're obviously doing this like as a team. So why not like get to know each other a little bit more, excuse me, so we can do exactly that.
Yep. And just have like a huge team call and literally give everybody like 3 or 4 minutes, little bit of background, when they started, why they started, what's your story, share your heart. Like, I think we need that in our team just to have that team camaraderie and to just like to know like, hey, I struggle with that too. That's exactly why I started this. I needed an outlet. Great. Me too. You know, whatever it is. So I just think it's gonna be really cool just to come together. We probably have like 10 seconds left and I'm probably gonna get cut off, but I'm gonna send the recording to you guys. I'll send it to Amber so she'll have it too. And thank you guys so much for being on. Seriously, we appreciate it so much. Bye, ladies.